Well, howdy, and welcome to the second marriage episode of Build to Last. I'm joined with none other than the famous Ashley Chase, my wife.
Yeah.
It's her biggest claim to fame, as she married me.
Thanks. I was nothing before you. You have made me who I am.
As all men
Praise be to Landon.
do.
Was that what you wanted me to say?
No.
Okay.
Do
Do it again.
No, it's fine. It's good. It's good. It is fun to be here with you today to talk.
Having these great conversations on camera.
You love it. It's the most we talk about marriage. So,
Oh my gosh.
got to get you in this room somehow.
Somehow.
So we'll
So
talk.
today we're talking about controversial marriage advice,
Oh, nice.
which you have a lot of.
Lots of it.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with, can I be friends with other women?
No. Moving on. Next question.
So I think for whatever
I
reason,
don't even let you like work with other women, talk to other women at the grocery store, like nothing.
bro, you're
We're
controlling.
not gonna have a daughter.
Whoa. Whoa. She's extreme. Everyone thinks I'm extreme. She's far more extreme than me. I think it was weird. I was listening to a very well-known Christian psychologist that has a talk show with Colin. You can guess who it is. He's on Dave Ramsey's platform. Just narrowing it down a little bit for you.
Starts with J and
Which I really like him, and I listen to him all the time. But he was answering this question on, can you have friends of the opposite sex? And in his closest category of friendships, he was saying that, yes, you can. Like, could my best friend take my wife out to lunch? And he was like, yeah, like, why not? And like, hey, I get coffee with a girl at work. Like, that, like, I was like,
you go on a date.
yeah, so you're going to let somebody
Just to clarify, I'm not comfortable with you going on dates.
Yeah, I was
with
trying to
anybody.
ask if it was okay, but yeah, zero. There's zero
Crazy.
other women I should be hanging out with
crazy.
one-on-one.
Yeah.
So I was really confused hearing that from him, and I think he must be just trying to
I think
keep a
it's just-
broader audience.
It's just foolish. Like, it's not necessarily like I don't.
Should
I
you
mean,
drive?
depends.
Should you drive your car without a seatbelt? You can. You totally can.
You do.
It's just the occasional accident that'll kill you.
Literally the other day, our son didn't want to get buckled in his car seat. And I was like, you have to wear a seatbelt. Mommy wears a seatbelt. Daddy wears a seatbelt. Andy wears a seatbelt. Daddy doesn't wear a seatbelt. I was like, okay, I guess that's
Apparently, this analogy breaks down.
It breaks down.
But so everyone's like, I can be friends with the opposite sex. There's no problem there.
It's crazy.
Until
I-
I can drive my car without a seatbelt.
I mean, I would feel very much like I was dishonoring you if I were having anything but like a surface level passing conversation in a group of people or like in a public place, you know, like
Yep.
if I'm at church and I'm like, hey, pastor, how you doing? Like, fine.
Yeah. I got asked by a gal at the church, hey, do you hate me? You just seem so cold to me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm not trying to be your friend.
sorry.
Yeah.
Paul gives us very clear categories for women. Treat older women as mothers, younger women as sisters with absolute purity. There isn't like, hey, have a lot of individual warm friendships with people. Like your spouse should meet all of your relational needs
Yeah.
from the opposite sex. And there was a guy that I'll get your take on this. There was a guy saying something very similar to what I'm saying here. He was like, except for like, yeah, like your mom, which totally. And then he's like, yeah, and like your sister-in-laws, like you. And I was like, no. If I went out to lunch one-on-one with any of my sister-in-laws, you would think that was weird.
That's really weird.
Like, yeah, your family, that's cool, but like, you can't. Any guy
That's really
should not be hanging out with any woman that he is not blood related to one-on-one. I would hold that line very hard. I've heard of plenty of affairs
Yeah.
between a brother-in-law and a sister-in-law.
It may not be like ill-intended or evil to begin with, but it's just foolish.
Because the foolishness isn't when you're healthy. It's when all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're having marital issues. Like,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah, you're complaining to your sister-in-law about your wife, and
My wife had a kid and
Appropriate. Yeah.
we're not getting our needs met. Like, blah, blah, blah. It's when you're all of a sudden really unhealthy and you're making your foolish decisions slip into evil because you've opened a door in your life.
Yeah.
It's like, Well, driving without a seatbelt, I'm fine. I'm a great driver. Well, is the drunk
Can't
guy
control the other
a
people.
great driver that just ran the red light? And well, you're in a weak moment and there's an aggressive gal and she all of a sudden makes a move and it's like, oh crap. Oh, well, I messed up. And like you gotta have so much protection in your marriage because your marriage is your most important relationship. And
It's pretty hard to come back from
it's very hard to
big
come back from.
mistakes, but you don't have a choice. Like you can't get divorced, so
Your legacy
get out.
depends on your marriage and who your entire legacy can crumble based on this failure. So a man can fail his entire legacy in 60 seconds. And we're one decision away from ruining our marriage and our,
Soup.
we can trade our entire good reputation, a life we've built over years for 60 seconds of pleasure. And, guys have done it for the history of the world, and so have gals. But I'm going to speak specifically for the guys. So do be so careful on who you allow in your life.
Nobody, I mean, hopefully nobody, most people don't go into marriage thinking they're going to be unfaithful to their spouse. But
Everyone has good intentions.
But you open the door with like, okay, I have this friend at work, or I'm watching this TV show, or
Oh yeah, the friend at work, the work wife.
Yeah.
That is like
but it's
disgusting to
it's
me
like,
because, but just hear me out.
yeah.
The work
Hear me
wife
out
thing.
about this one.
The work wife thing. What version of her would what version of me would she get? She would get the one that's showered, put together, ready to lead a meeting, at my best, and she would respect that. But she doesn't get me on Saturday night when I'm exhausted and like you're picking up my laundry and I'm barely functional. Like they get the best version of you without your kids and without responsibilities, and your wife gets the worst version of you. And it is such a fake facade. It's not a real person. So you can slip into this emotional relationship that becomes physical with a work spouse because you're around them at your best all the time. And men make this mistake because they're at their best at work and they want to be respected. And if you're an authority, it's really easy to respect the man that shows up for his job. But if they got all the versions of you, they probably wouldn't respect you. So I think you have to be so guarded in your marriage. And it's not just my responsibility to guard our marriage. It's your responsibility to guard our marriage. And not just for yourself, not just for myself, for each other. So if we see somebody that is it's just awkward. It's like, why is that guy talking to you so much? Why is he hanging around? Why is he commenting on your story? Why is he, whatever it is? We need to be very protective of our marriage. And there's something called healthy jealousy. It's when somebody's in my place. And if you're dressing sketchy and going out and getting attention from other guys, you're trying to get attention that should only come from me. And so somebody else is in my place.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Like, like I said, you have somebody you talk to at work, or you are watching a TV show, reading a certain kind of book for women sometimes, and you're opening that possibility in your mind of lust, essentially, is all that it is. And then you find yourself being comfortable with more and more and more, justifying more and more and more. And the enemy leads you down a path that all of a sudden you're like, how did we get here? Now I don't love my husband. I'm not attracted to him. I don't want to be around him. I despise him, I resent him, whatever, because you've been allowing your mind to wander and not be committed to your marriage covenant. Like, marriage is supposed to show us what a covenant is like, where we're fully devoted to each other, submitted to the Lord. And when we start to just allow any other concept of marriage to sneak in, where there's independence, division, resentment, bitterness, anything, it, like, the enemy uses that as a door. And my dad says, Pastor Mark says, like, it's a foothold, a stronghold, and a stranglehold. Like, he gets his foot in, he opens the door, and then he runs in, and all of a sudden you're like, it's over. Like, what happened? But it's by being foolish and allowing that door to be open in the first place. Like, we should have dominion and self-control over our own thoughts, minds, and feelings. And it doesn't matter if our spouse isn't fulfilling that. That's not, like, you still get to go get fulfillment somewhere else. You talk to your spouse about that.
I think for a guy, and obviously for a gal, there should be a lot of red lights that you have to run through to get to I'm having an affair. And that's you setting up a lot of boundaries and guardrails in your marriage to, if you are making that decision, you are driving through red light after good friendship telling you like, hey, whoa, stop. Like you are determined to put your car into the wall. without a seatbelt on.
And I think that's the importance of having humility and both being willing and able to receive feedback from each other, trusting that it's coming from a place of love and submission to the Lord and through prayer and whatever else you need to do. But like, yeah, if you're telling me like, or you're asking me even just like, are you struggling with this? Are you veering in this? Are you realizing how this is coming off? And I'm just like defensive and like, no, why would you say that? Why would you accuse me of that? Like, that's a pretty big red flag.
Yep.
That something is going on in your heart that you feel attacked. If it's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
Yep.
forgive, move on, all good. But yeah, you should not at all be just like living your lives and hoping that it works out. Like, you should be able to speak to each other. And that's the importance of having community, wise counsel, people around you that can also like, hey man, do you see this in your life? Like, and if you just reject every wise person pointing things out,
Yep.
That's a problem.
And I think it's so important. The only friends of the opposite sex that I've kept through getting married were friends that are now couple friends.
Yeah.
And
So we hang out together.
you know them. And I don't ever text them one-on-one. It's a group text with all of us. We never hang out one-on-one. It's a group hangout. And those are some beautiful friendships.
Yeah.
But they got married too. Yeah. They're in the same life stage as us. And we love them. They're great people. But it's not the majority of those relationships.
Yeah.
But do you think somebody can ever stay friends with their ex?
Oh gosh. I mean, I couldn't personally, no. I don't have any, but you were my only relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think.
I don't think so. I think the only, for a guy and a gal, even when you're single, I think it's such a lie. We tell each other that, I can be best friends with a guy that I'm not attracted to and that I'm not getting married to.
Yeah.
One of you has that expectation that this could turn romantic.
Yeah.
One of you. Maybe the gal's like, oh, I'm good. Like, you have friends with guys, and you're like, oh, no, we're just friends.
Yeah.
I was like, well, no,
I understand how men works at that point.
Yeah. Any girl that wants to lie to themselves, the guy's either gay
Yeah.
or he wants to sleep
Well,
with you.
I think the bigger problem is the idea of dating in general. If you want to go there, like, I don't have exes because I didn't date because, first of all, I didn't know if I was going to get married. I thought maybe I wasn't. But then when I did, it was like we dated for like 7 weeks and then got engaged.
You couldn't control yourself.
Oh my gosh. No, we started having all these conversations about boundaries, and we both wanted to like stay very pure. And I feel like I didn't even like want to hold your hand. Like, I was like very intense. But you respected me, and thank you for doing that. But I feel like once we started dating, we were like, okay, we don't want to be at each other's houses alone. We don't want to be out past this time. We don't want to be texting each other. We want people to know where we are. We were setting all these boundaries where it was like trying to keep ourselves pure or whatever. It was like, wow, this is like really hard. And so then we're like, well, we should probably just get married. Like, since God told us to get married, like, let's not prolong this to the point where we then make a huge mistake and sin. Like, we were friends for 4 or 5 years off and on. You always say, like, be friends too long, date for as short as possible, and be engaged just as long as it takes to plan a wedding. Like, do not prolong marriage or the process to marriage.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should date longer than a year without knowing if you're going to get married.
Oh, no, there's no way.
It's crazy. And
if you're not ready to get married, don't date.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not looking for your wife.
People end up in these long-term relationships with people, and it's like, we've been dating 2-3 years, break up.
Yeah.
Break up with them. Break up with her. And if they want to get married, it'll come out in that conversation. Just the reason is, hey, I don't see this heading towards marriage.
If you're not having those conversations,
you can't just waste your 20s and 30s
dating just for the sake of dating. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I don't understand.
It's wild. You need to have the end zone of marriage. And I think, I don't think a first date should go by without having the conversation of, is our end zone marriage? Like, don't be over the top.
Be friends. Like, yeah, no.
But our end zone should be marriage, and there should be no other reason to be going on dates. It's not just fun. Dates when you're married are way more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Way more fun.
For sure.
And you spend way less on gas when you're commuting to your houses and all kinds of stuff.
You can cook at home. It's great.
For sure. All right, boundaries in marriage. Is there, when two become one, is there anything that is yours that I can't see? Like technology. Is there anything on your phone? Should I be able to go through your phone at any time?
Absolutely. I don't know that you know all of my passwords because you don't remember them, but I am in all of your email accounts and everything. You have your real estate license. I don't even know if you know your passwords. I do most of them online things.
It's called weaponized incompetence, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's literally, I don't know, you're in my bank accounts, every transaction
I have your two-factor authentication on everything. Like, yeah, I have everything.
So there's nothing that a husband should be keeping from their wife.
No, we have joint bank accounts. Like, we're both on all of our mortgages, loans, credit cards, car titles, payments, whatever. Like, there's none.
Location.
Yeah, we share a location.
If one day your husband theoretically is like,
My
my iCloud got messed up and my phone won't share a location.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's not.
Yeah.
Get that location turned back on, honey.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Not that we're paranoid. I have no concern about you whatsoever. But
I have a lot of concerns about you.
please share.
No, I don't.
Okay. Not to be shocked.
If I'm ever wondering where Ashley's at, it's usually good.
It's really just like not leaving any room for the enemy to get in. Like, if I had my own stuff, I could have my own pride and secrets from you and vice versa. And so we just don't do it. Like, we're just like, everything is visible, everything is transparent. A lot of people make the argument that you should have separate bank accounts or like give each other allowances. I've heard this.
There's these couples out here on Venmo.
Crazy.
That
Yes, they're like Venmoing each other rent. I'm like,
for
what are
coffee?
you doing? Yeah,
It's like
that's
you're married.
crazy. That's
What?
crazy.
You're
That's
publicly telling the world that you're Venmoing back and
That's
forth?
crazy. I cannot imagine. I don't know. Maybe that's unique. I had no idea. But yeah.
If a man makes you have a separate bank account, he's gay.
Oh my gosh.
For sure.
Okay.
I've been learning this from Martin Cedra.
Yeah.
Just anything you don't like is
Yeah,
gay.
it's good.
So
Yeah. I mean, I think you're supposed to become one. And that back in Genesis, that was like, you didn't have that much, but now it's like property rights and everything.
it's shocking. The guys do all these reaction
We
videos.
should vote.
What? So it's shocking that that a lot of couples think that your phone should be private and your text should be private, your Snapchat should be private, all these things that it's just very controlling that a spouse would want to know those things.
No, you don't even check. It's just that you have access because I don't want to be looking like I'm hiding anything. It's not like
And if I ever
scrolling.
picked up your phone and you were like,
Yeah, that would be
there would be a
concerning.
huge flag. And
Very concerning.
I mean, I'd encourage couples, go grab your spouse's phone, open it, and see how your spouse reacts.
Yeah.
And ask your spouse, how did that make you feel when I picked up your
You'd be
phone?
like, wow, why do you follow so many dog Instagram accounts?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, why are you looking at so many sewing tutorials on Pinterest?
Yeah, I think every couple should go into their spouse's Instagram and go to the search page and see what all the pictures are.
And like their algorithm of like what they're getting served.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mine is literally like sewing, thrifting, dogs, chickens.
Mine are just trucks and runs.
It's just trucks.
Yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, I think boundaries in marriage are so important. Back to my point of there should be a lot of red lights that you need to drive through as a man to cheat on your wife.
Yeah.
It should be so difficult. It should be so hard and it should be so uncomfortable to get there that you know what you're doing.
And like so hard to hide.
Uh-huh.
Like I have so much visibility. It would be darn near impossible for you to do anything I
for sure.
know about. There was one time you were at the house and I was at work and I was coming home and you weren't texting me back. And I was like, what is going on? This is like literally the only time this has happened that I can remember. I was like, what is he doing? And I come home and you were making dinner for us. So I was like, okay.
With $30 maple syrup.
Yeah, you got really nice maple syrup. It was
She likes breakfast for dinner. That's her
delicious.
her thing. So
I was like, oh, well, the one time I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he there? You were making waffles. So
I don't think that you should be anxious about your spouse. You shouldn't be worried. They should give you every
you
reason.
shouldn't be looking for
No, don't be that person.
Yeah, don't go on a witch hunt.
But if the other person is very secretive,
Yeah.
flags, huge flags. If they're not willing to, hey, I watched this marriage podcast and the guy said, let me see your For You page or your Instagram search page. And if your spouse is like, no, now you have an issue to dig into. It's not that you need to see it. Well, now you need to talk about why would there be anything hidden in our marriage? And blame me, blame this podcast, blame this talk. hey, I want to see your DMs on Instagram because the guy on the podcast told me that you should be okay with that. And I just wanted to do it as an experiment. And your heart reaction is the problem.
Yeah.
If I have something to hide, I will fight in between her asking and showing. And he may not have anything to hide, but his heart might be inclined to hide things. And there may be no problem now, but there may be a problem down the road. So yeah, I think that's boundaries in marriage are so important.
Transparency and humility again.
Protecting your marriage at all costs, because Satan is coming for your marriage. It is the number one thing he can do to devastate you, get you off track, put your car into a ditch, wreck generations, cause generational curses, get rid of. If Satan is coming for you, it's because you're a threat, and your family's a threat, and your kids are a threat, and the easiest thing he can do is put the bait in front of you because you're not unique. It's not like this woman respects you so much. It's that Satan respects you, and he's trying to put you in a ditch. So you're not special. This girl doesn't think you're so attractive.
Yeah.
Satan is just putting Jezebel in your life.
Manipulative, and men are lustful. So
Satan's seen this for thousands and thousands of years, and you're not that special. So protect your marriage at all costs. Put boundaries in place so it's very hard to cheat, and be open and honest with each other. Yeah, I think that's good. So last topic, Ashley, for today, easy one, very easy. Should women be good at stuff?
yeah,
Like what?
everything,
What is everything?
all the things. What is
I feel like this is my hot take. I feel like in the Christian
things
space,
a man ought to know?
that's good, Lane.
She's crazy. So
Yeah, she was crazy. I think that in the Christian world, there are very high standards and very clear standards for a godly man. I think there are clear as mud standards for what a godly woman gets like.
that's a lot of the time. Yeah.
It's like as long as she has a purity ring and she posts on Instagram and puts her Bible verse in her bio, she can put bikini pics up. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah, I feel that.
You got a lot of bikini
No,
pics?
I think it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. There's not a clear standard for Christian women. So what should be the standard? What should women be called up to?
Yeah, I mean, I think women can either fall into one of two lies. Like either a man's going to fix everything in your life. So you just are kind of waiting for the right man, waiting for your Prince Charming, and he'll come along and sweep you off your feet and everything will be good. Happy ever after. You'll have kids and you'll be happy and he'll provide for you. Or you don't trust any men. You don't want to get married. You just stay single and become independent. So it's like either you do nothing and just let the man do everything, or you do it all yourself. I think the best way to do it is the way the Bible says to do it, which is, like you said earlier, to become the person that a godly man would want to marry or a godly woman would want to marry. That's the first step. So your singleness is not, you shouldn't waste your singleness. Like use your singleness to become more and more like Jesus, gain skills, gain knowledge and wisdom and relationships, community, all the things that will make your marriage stronger.
I judged you so hard when we were dating. I was like, does this woman know how to cook?
Yes.
Is her house clean?
Yes. Was my car clean? Did I pay my bills on time? Yeah.
Like those are things that as a man, who you are dating is who you are marrying.
It's not magically going to get better
No.
once you're married. It's only going to get worse. You're on your best behavior when you're single because you're trying to find a spouse.
Yeah.
Then once you get married, you slack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not great.
So I think there's a lot of pressure on young men to be better. And there's very little pressure on young women to be better. So for a young woman that doesn't have very many skills, doesn't really know, but she wants to.
Yeah.
What are the things that a young woman should try to get good at before she gets married?
Yeah, I mean, I think we always say that, like, we've built a rental portfolio of homes and we've, like, you buy and sell cars. I sell furniture and thrift things and whatever. And it's a lot less about, like, making a bunch of money or being good at sales or, like, getting rich or whatever. It's about the process of who you become when you do hard things, whatever the hard thing is. Like whether you're trying to run a marathon, like you become a different person mentally and you learn so much physically when you put your mind to actually accomplishing a difficult goal that you're not sure you can do. Like we were trying to buy a house. It was like, we're gonna have to work really hard for that, but we can either work hard and learn the lessons or just rent and like be comfortable, which is fine. I'm not saying renting's wrong, but don't just like take the easy path, you know? Like I learned how to cook and sew and garden, and not because I felt like I had to, but because I learned so much and grew my character so much through like trial and error and problem solving and fixing mistakes and trying to learn how to sell things and grow my own food, understand where it comes from. I appreciate farmers and ranchers so much more now.
Mm.
I fix things around our house all the time, and I teach our son how to do chores and clean and fix stuff, and he helps me with our chickens and our garden. Like, it's all the kinds of things that like the Bible wants us to grow. Jesus wants us to grow in our character and in the fruit of the Spirit. And it's pretty hard to do that when you're just like sitting around on social media. Like, you're not going to gain more character and more integrity. And so I think choosing to do hard things is how you learn. And some people have really hard lives and they learn it that way. But in a lot of ways, my life was very comfortable. And so I was like, I'm going to go challenge myself to learn how to do things and lead Bible studies and go on mission trips and stuff that was not comfortable and was not easy and cost me money and time and sometimes my health even. But it was all things that I felt like was an investment into me being a good wife. Like,
Yep.
if I don't know how to read my Bible for myself, disciple people, like
Accounting.
attend church, take care of my finances, cook for myself, stay healthy, keep a clean house so I'm not getting sick all the time, like repair my car so it's not breaking down, leaving me stranded, like show up at work on time, make a living for myself. Like, if I don't know how to do those things when I'm single, I'm not going to learn once I'm married. Like, I'm not going to know how to raise a kid and be a good wife all of a sudden, you know? And so I feel like the skills are important, but it's about the person that you become through learning them and acquiring them and challenging yourself. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's been interesting. We were talking with Melissa and Cedra a few weeks ago, and we've been talking a lot about like the Proverbs 31 woman, and every woman's conference is on this, and it's the only verse they pull out of it is she laughs at the future.
Yeah.
Without fear of the future. And like, there's a lot before them that we're challenged in most.
Beauty is vain. A woman who fears the Lord is to be praised.
Yeah. There's a lot before that verse that would convict a lot of women and challenge them. I think you do a really good job at this, being the Proverbs 31 woman.
Thank
you. And I think the standard for women is very low.
Yeah.
And I think women, especially now, should be bringing a lot to the table in marriage. And I think women are far more capable than men.
Absolutely.
I think that the only thing that a man is better than a woman and why he's the leader,
Like physical strength.
well, he can go to war and he can carry a really heavy burden.
Yeah.
And he can protect his family. It doesn't mean he's more competent at doing things.
Yeah, he's protector, provider, she's nurturer, and
He can deal with a lot of stress, a lot of strain. Like, a man can handle far more than a woman can, emotionally, spiritually, physically.
I don't like it, but it's true.
But competency-wise, you're far more competent at multitasking and juggling
our
things.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think women need to realize that's the helper part. And Proverbs 31 talks about a
We're
woman.
uniquely gifted to raise children. Not that fathers aren't supposed to be involved, but it is the primary role of the mother. And that's like, I can't even explain to you like how my brain changed once I became a mom and the things that I was like, whoa.
When we talked about that, so many women are expecting their husbands to be the mom.
Yeah.
And how damn
Yeah, no, I don't expect you to treat our son the way that I do or raise him the way that like we're on the same page about how we raise him. But like, yeah, I nurture him in ways that like you should not. Yeah. You can't nurse him.
No,
primarily.
No, God physically built
birth
you and
him.
wired you to be the nurturer and the mother. And God wired me to be the provider, protector, defender of our family. And those roles need to be clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So men should be growing in leadership and going to war and having like their relationship with the Lord so strong that nothing that happens will waver them, and, you know, having wise counsel, all the things. And women should be learning how to cultivate a home and raise children. Like, there are other things that women do. There are other things that men do, but primarily those are our roles, and they're complementary to each other. And that's how God designed it to be. And it works that way. But I didn't really love kids. I still don't really love everybody's kids all the time.
We love any more than anything.
But I was around enough kids and learned enough and like was open to it that I feel like I figured it out. But I think you do yourself a disservice by not cultivating the skills that you'll need to have as soon as you can. You have so much time and energy when you're single.
I say the same thing for young men.
Yeah.
and not
You think you're tired. You think you're busy. Like, wait till you have a couple kids. Like, you're not going to have more energy and more time.
especially when you're single, especially when you're dating, especially when you're married without kids, you're still in skill acquisition phase.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
as a young man,
Hustled before we had Indy. Yeah.
as a young man, you should be learning sales. You should learn to work on your own car. You should learn
Being
to
leadership at a church.
be in leadership, serve in kids ministry. Learn to be around kids. Learn to be a good dad before you have kids.
Get your finances in order. Get out of
Like
debt.
most young men are complaining about politics and making it their identity. They're playing video games and they're watching porn.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and then I'm suddenly going to be a good, productive husband and father and Christian. No, you have to get this stuff off the runway now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't bring baggage that you don't need to into marriage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like all the guys that are like, well, I've been off porn for 2 months now. I can be a good husband. It's like, well, it's like saying, well, I haven't cheated on you in 2 months, so I'm good. Like it is so important
Control is huge.
for young men to deal with self-control and self-discipline. Put yourself in a hard process, get to work, learn a lot of skills, be a guy that's worth marrying. And that happens before marriage, not once you're married.
Right.
Marriage isn't going to fix all your problems. You need to bring a lot to the table as an individual to marriage. And it doesn't mean that that we both need to earn big incomes. It doesn't mean that the husband needs to be the sole provider. It can be both. You could make more money than me. I love that. You don't.
I mean, it depends how you split it.
Yeah, for sure.
You couldn't do a lot of what you do without me helping.
For sure.
So.
Oh, helping. Crazy. It's like your role is to be my helper. But I think a good marriage, it complements each other in incredible ways. And you can carry a bigger load. You can get more done.
Yeah.
You can build a legacy that is beyond your wildest dreams, but is not beyond God's. God has a giant plan for your marriage. But you need to be a competent person. The standard needs to rise.
You have to give him something to work with.
Yeah.
I always tell people that. Like, he's not just going to, like, drop some random skill. Like, you do have to cultivate.
Every young person comes to us and they're like, I'm going to be financially independent. And I'm going to have all these businesses that run and give me money.
Yeah. Like, wait, okay, how?
What? That's not a plan.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how to run a business? Do you know what marketing is? Do you know what accounting is? Do you know how to start a business?
code?
Do you know how to get investors? Do you invest in your business? Do you know how to structure a deal for investors to give money to your business?
You know how to pitch people who actually have money? Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many skills that you need to learn before you can be financially independent and have businesses that pay you. Like,
Yeah, it's a great idea.
great
There's a reason that basically no one can do it.
is it?
And if it was easy, everyone would do it.
90% of businesses fail in the first year, and then 90% more fail in the next 5. So, like, it's not for everyone.
No, yeah.
And most young people need to go work a job, show up early, stay late, gain skills, get a mentor, and work their butt off. And a lot of young people aren't doing that. I would put a lot of pressure on young people to gain a lot more skills than they are. Like, nobody cares how good you are at Halo. They care how often you show up and how dependable you are in kids ministry at church.
Yeah,
Like, a wife is going to be far more impressed with you if you're in serving at your church with a good reputation than they are if you're high on a leaderboard on a big, so we are going to get into how everything changes in marriage, in having kids, and then in roles as a spouse in marriage. So, Ashley, does anything change when you get married?
Not for me.
Nice.
Just kidding. Literally everything.
What were like the most shocking things that changed for you once you got married?
How much I had to clean up after you. I don't mind.
Jezebel?
I don't mind. I just was like, wow, men are really messy. I never lived with a man before.
This guy, this influencer dude, he's like, I have a magic carpet. I can throw anything on it, and all of a sudden, it's just gone. And then it gets washed, folded, and put in my closet every single time. And my wife, she has a magic.
She has a magic wallet.
She has a magic
Never
carpet.
runs out of money.
It just anything she wants to buy, she buys, and it's crazy. So it goes both ways.
I feel like I win in that situation.
Sure. I think money is really easy to produce, and I think laundry is really hard to do.
Not that hard. But I'll let you believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
No, pretty much literally everything changed.
I can flip a car in like, if you total up my hours, it's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's how long laundry takes for you every week. And I can make like 10 grand.
Yeah, well, would you like to go buy new clothing instead of washing it? I guess you actually did do that when you were single.
When I was a bachelor, I would just throw away my dirty clothes.
Literally, he would just go buy new clothing every week.
And it wasn't like I was making so much money
No,
at that point in my life. I just really.
It was just more stewardship. Also, your pantry was only power bars.
Yep.
So,
As young men do.
yeah.
All right. Back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with brothers, but I feel like I was shocked that everything did change and it was very different living as a man. I always say them girl college roommates. But no, I think we really kind of went back to the drawing board with everything in our life. And I feel like for us, it was really good timing because I had just finished college and COVID was about to happen.
And we knew that.
And we both had just switched jobs. Yeah, we didn't know that, obviously. But we both were in new jobs. I was done with school. We had just bought a house. Like, pretty much we did all the big resets all at the same time. So neither of us was joining each other's life. Like, we were very much starting a new life together. And that's it. My dad talks a ton about, like, leave and cleave and Genesis and how you're not joining one family or the other. You're starting your own. And it's true. And so we really did go back to the drawing board with pretty much everything. And we're very honest about, like, our financial mindsets and our relationships, friendships, family boundaries, what we were hoping to have those be, and what looked healthy for each of us, and how we spent our days off, our Sabbaths, how we handled technology, how we spent free time together, exercise, diet, literally everything. And it wasn't easy to come to agreement on everything. There were a lot of things, like Santa, that took a while.
Oh, we've agreed?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
After this episode, we can kind of flush out that agreement.
Like, I had no idea that people, like, actually thought that telling your kids about Santa was a good idea. I thought that was crazy. So we had to work that one out. Our first Christmas together. Yeah. But yeah, we pretty much went back to the drawing board about everything and really set our priorities together and our goals together. And yeah.
There were certain things that definitely were easier. Some things were harder. One thing that I think was a learning curve for you was finances.
Yeah.
And investing.
Yeah. I was really good at saving. I was really good at, like, pinching every penny. But yeah, I had no concept of investing. I didn't have any debt, but I had no concept of investing or, like, multiplying money, or, like, I was very generous. I would tithe and give offerings and whatever else, but I just was very much, like, living with what I had and not thinking about, like, legacy or future generations or how to, like, multiply our wealth so that we can bless the kingdom more. I had never really thought about that. Yeah, you taught me a lot about that. So it took a lot for me to shift my mindset.
You think it's important for spouses to teach each other things like
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
Should you blindly trust?
No, you very much brought me along in that process. Like, you had me read some books on stock investing and real estate investing, because I'm not stupid. Like, you didn't treat me like I was stupid. I feel like husbands do that sometimes, where they're like, they just handle the finances because they think their wife can't understand it. It's like, well, she's not dumb. Like, I mean, maybe she is, but most of the time she's not. Most of the time she can understand a basic level of investing principles. So yeah, we listen to podcasts together. We'd, like, go for walks and talk about it. And I'd be like, wait, so I don't understand this portion. So when you're buying a stock, what are you actually buying? What is cryptocurrency? Like, all the things. Like, why wouldn't you want to buy a house with cash? Why would you want to have a mortgage? And why would you want debt? And, like, how do you leverage that? And how do you figure out your cash flow? Like, I just didn't understand any of it. And so, yeah, you were really good at bringing me along the process and helping me understand what you understood, because we wanted to make the decisions together. And yes, I could have trusted you to just do it all, but I feel like we benefit so much more from both being a part of it. Like, there's parts of our life that I manage that you could do, but I probably do a better job at it. Yeah, like, there's a lot of the logistical things that I do that you don't want to be doing and I'm good at, so I do it. But if I just had no idea, like...
Because then if I all of a sudden... catastrophe happens.
Yeah, that would be really
lose
bad.
a bunch of money.
Yeah, that would be really bad.
You
Like, you did what with our money?
You'd understand.
Yeah, because it is our money. You make the most of it, but it is our money, so I should know how it's... I'm still responsible for how it's being stewarded. Like,
I didn't tell you I had any money until we were engaged.
Yeah, that's true.
gold.
But like, I still have to stand before the Lord and explain why I did what I did with all that He gave me, financially and otherwise, and why I stewarded it the way that I did or didn't steward it. So yeah, I don't want to be like held in secrecy to where you're dealing with it, and I'm just like, oh yeah, they'll say. Like, I want to be responsible for it as well. But you did a good job of educating me in that. And then like, you didn't read at all when we got married. Like, you always joked like you made it through college without reading a book.
Man, if I went back to college and I had AI,
Yeah.
like I did so little work to graduate, and I was the youngest graduate in my college. Like I wasn't stupid, but I skated through that sucker at a prestigious college.
2 years you did your bachelor's.
So people were like, "Wow, he's lazy." No.
No, we were just hacking the system.
Hack the system. But if I had AI,
You wouldn't have done anything.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
But you started
I should
reading.
go get my PhD. I bet I could do it. I bet I could do it with all AI, and I bet I could get it done faster. I don't know.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
I'm in.
What are you going to get your PhD in?
Something.
Something.
I would
Astrophysics,
like you to call me doctor.
rocket surgery, doctor. I can call you that without you going to get your...
Bites on the bedroom.
Okay. All right. Anyways, but you didn't really read when we got married, back to my original point, and I taught you how to read.
It's the English language that was a challenge for me.
So you can't say I just changed. You also changed. Yeah. Have you benefited from me showing you the joy of reading?
Yeah.
Don't be like that.
No, I went through a phase where first like couple years of our marriage, I'd go to Goodwill and I'd buy every finance book, like sometimes 10 books, sometimes 15 books, sometimes 2 books, and I'd read them all. I think this phase between we just got married and we're about to have kids. So like that could be 1 year, it could be 6 years, it could be 10 years, whatever that is for a couple. We don't have kids yet. That season is so important to steward. I think a lot of couples treat this like an extended honeymoon. Where it's
What
like
did we do during that?
travel and vacations and spend all our money and live like we're retired. We didn't do that. So that phase of our life, when we first got married, again, we were reading every book we could. We played a game called Cash Flow.
Robert Kiyosaki.
The GOAT.
We would have like game night parties where we'd invite all of our friends over and teach them about investing principles with this board game.
It was a good time. It was a good time. It was a very good time.
Crazy Friday nights.
Crazy. And we took all this time to learn and invest in our knowledge, because I believe that knowledge compounds like finances compound, and wisdom compounds like finances compound. And so the earlier in your marriage, you learn how the world works. And the world, everyone's like, it's a conspiracy, it's rigged. A little bit. But that's why there's a bunch of rich people that figure it out. So all you have to do is figure out the system, figure out how the stock market works, figure out how real estate investing works.
All you have to do, yeah. You make
Easy.
it sound easy.
Thousands of hours of reading and listening to podcasts and taking the time to do it. So in that first few years of marriage, COVID hit.
We were married for 3 years before we had our son.
Yeah. So we had 3 years to steward. So those are like, all right, God gave us 3 years to steward. And we needed to invest in whatever way that looked like. Sometimes for us, it was you started buying and selling furniture. You turned $5 into like,
Yeah, I got jealous because during COVID, you were buying and selling all these cars. And I was like, I mean, I don't know anything about cars. And like, I've learned a lot. I'm like, I'm not going to sell cars. Like, what am I going to do with my time? And I decided to start selling furniture. So I would thrift random mid-century, mostly furniture. And yeah, I had $5 that I started with. I bought something for $5, sold it for $25, bought something with that, sold that for $200, whatever. I kept flipping it up. And yeah, I made like 13 grand that year out of my $5.
it's pretty impressive. And you had fun doing it.
I had so much fun.
Like, I believe the only hobbies you should have are money-making hobbies.
Yeah. That's probably a you thing.
It is a me thing. I flipped 140 cars in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So I have a blast doing it. So what was the joke the other day we made? Buying and selling cars is expensive, but divorce is a lot more expensive.
For sure.
So that's what everyone's like, have a date. I'm like, buy a car.
Yeah, we did a lot of road trips and flew places to buy cars. And
It's fun.
it was fun. Lots of good memories. No regrets.
But we took a very intentional season to buy and sell cars, buy and sell furniture, invest that money, buy and sell houses. We bought a house that was way too big for us, way too expensive for us, on the advice of wise counsel, because interest rates were 2.75%. There was a casino. We could live in the casino, rent out the main house, all this stuff. But people can look at our life now, almost 7 years into marriage, and like, wow, you guys have such a great life. Look, oh, you got fun cars and houses, and oh my gosh, you have no idea how hard it was. We lived in a tiny house that was 240 square feet for like 6 months on the property that we were redoing to make it into rental and all this stuff. We were getting taken advantage of by some Christian contractors. And they told me that the casita redo was going to cost like $36,000. It ended up costing like $120,000. And let me tell you, when you're 23, those are different numbers. And I had to like Hail Mary, get a HELOC to pay them and do all this. It was crazy. A lot of sleepless nights in a tiny house while driving a truck without air conditioning, because we sold all our cars to invest in the property. Like, we were making every sacrifice and making our life so different.
We were carnivore at this point, or actually lion diet, so we were literally only eating beef. It was a crazy time.
We're extreme people.
It was a crazy time. This is not prescriptive advice.
You know, the great thing about only eating carnivore when you're in a tiny house is you only need an air fryer. You need an air fryer and a lot of frozen steaks. Yeah, that's all we had. But those are some great memories, and that's what we had heard from our wise counsel: is make all the sacrifices before you have kids, or when your kids are young. And you'll look back on them as great memories. And all of our wise counsel that have built massive things have these great stories of, I was living in a single wide with 4 boys, and our date would be driving into the driveway, eating a Slim Jim, and sharing a beer. That was their date, and that's all they could afford. And those are great memories. So I think we, as a culture, believe this lie that we need to spend a bunch of money, go into debt before we have kids to get all the experiences we need to have before we have children and are tied down by these kids and can't have any more fun. You rob yourself from a future that you wouldn't even believe if you could get the snowball rolling. And Warren Buffett talks about getting the financial snowball rolling in your life. And very, very important. 10 grand now invested is like investing 100 grand in 10 years. So for every dollar you invest now, it's like $100 in 10 years. So the earlier you get started, the way easier it is, but nobody gets started. That's the big issue. So making some massive financial sacrifices and stewarding the years before kids, so important. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think that's the main thing that changed for me is my mindset about legacy and generational provision and being able to bless our kids and everything. Yeah, for sure. And sacrifice.
Do you think that there should be stay-at-home wives?
Wow, that's out of nowhere. No, I don't think so at all. I think that
what I'm saying by stay-at-home wife is a wife that does not have children and no job, and all you do is stay at home.
Yeah, I just think about, and maybe I get this from my dad, but like I just think about standing before Jesus and trying to justify my life to him. And I don't think I could justify sitting around and being selfish for any period of time.
It's good.
You know, like I sit for 5 minutes and I'm like, I should be doing something. And part of that's because I'm insane. And
it's mental.
I do need to rest sometimes. But like one of my favorite pastors says that he wants to run into heaven like dog tired. Like he like barely crosses the finish line. He's so exhausted of just like, I did as much as I could. Like that's what I want to be able to tell Jesus. Not that I was like, I took a season of just.
I read John Mark Comer's book and I made it my whole life.
Like I just needed some personal quality time, some like
healing from traumas.
Yeah. I went to therapy and got some sleep. It was so good. Yeah, no, like I just don't believe in any of that. I believe that our job is so important on earth and our life is so short and there's so much attack that comes against the church and Christianity that we have no excuse to sit and twiddle our thumbs. I don't know. Maybe you can make the argument that you're growing in certain ways internally and like I don't know, you're doing your Devo time, hearing from the Lord, praying, whatever, that's great. But you can do all that and also like not be self-focused, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. So speaking of not being self-focused,
yeah.
How does your life change when you have kids? So like when you get married, it's one of the most massive changes in your life. And I think a lot of couples make the mistake of merging single lives and single friends and single finances, and you keep everything separate, but you're under the contract of marriage. You're
Yeah.
legally married, but I don't believe it's not letting out a covenant of marriage unless you become one. And to become one, everything has to change. Everything has to get blown up and rebuilt as a couple. And so then that was not that hard for us. It was difficult. We went through a lot of hard conversations, came together, we got married. What was probably more difficult was having our first kid.
Oh, for sure.
And everything changes again.
For sure.
What changes?
Literally everything. I don't actually remember what it was like to not have a son. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, sometimes you'll hang out with him so I can like go run an errand or something, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, it's just like, it's crazy. I don't know. Your whole heart changes. I feel like I've learned so much about God's character through having a child and seen so much more of my flesh and my sin. It's like literally a mirror every single day when you wake up. They show you all the things that you still need to surrender to the Lord, and all the things you need to repent of. And like yesterday I was getting frustrated at him, and I was like, he's not actually doing anything. Like, I'm just in a bad mood. Like, it's not his fault. It's just crazy. Like, it shows you how patient God is with us, how long suffering he is. And I just laugh at myself now thinking that like I could make a plan for my life that was good. I'm like, yeah, I have no control over, I have some control, but I have basically no control over my son. And God looks at us and is like, I have a plan for you. Why are you following it? And like, that's how parenting is. It's like, why aren't you just obeying? And I'm like, yeah, God, you're literally probably thinking this every moment of every single day of everything that I do.
Yeah.
So it's very humbling. It's very convicting all the time. And yeah, your time is not your own anymore. As much as you want to try to shove a kid into your life, like it's not possible. Like, they need food when they need food, and they need pee when they need to pee, and then to sleep and everything else. Like, it just, you in a lot of ways are on their clock, and it makes you have to totally die to yourself without, letting them be the center of the universe. I feel like that's kind of the continuum that we're always figuring out, is like, how do we make sure that we're still having our priorities straight with our marriage and our ministry, and also raising a son that loves the Lord and feels like we're there for him and all the things. Like, we're not just going to leave him on the wayside to keep living our lives, but we're also not going to make our lives about him, because that's not healthy for him.
Yeah, I think so many couples let marriage and life happen to them. And I think that's one of the things that we've done well through our marriage is we do something called sync meetings every week. And it's where we get on the same page about how the last week go. So we talk about, hey, did we have a date last week? Did we have quality time last week?
Yeah.
Are we reading our Bible? Are we exercising? Did we have sex last week? We go through all of the big indicators in our marriage of health. And then we have an issues list. Hey, anything that we need to bring up and talk about as our marriage, we have a place to do that.
Yeah.
So it's not date night. Date night should never be where you're talking through marital issues.
Yeah.
You should have a separate venue for that where your spouse knows, hey, I can drop something on there and we can talk about it. And I think when you have little ones and you're rolling through life and you got jobs and craziness and in-laws and all this stuff, life can happen to you. Yeah. And you can waste a few years just going through the motions. And so we do something called a vision retreat every year. So it's once a year. We reset all our priorities for the year. We set our goals. We set financial goals. We look at our schedule. We look at energy. Do you have energy? Are we healthy? Do we need to go to the doctors for certain things?
Yeah.
We outline all that in a vision retreat. And then we set quarterly goals, and then we do weekly check-ins. And then every quarter, we're going to check back in. Hey, where are we at? How are things going? And people are like, well, you're running your marriage like a business. There's certain things that are helpful to check in, or else you don't see the check engine light come on. You don't see that your spouse has drifted away. You don't realize you haven't had a date night in 3 months. Like, your marriage can get really off track if you and your spouse don't communicate, and it's really easy to just go shoulder to shoulder.
This is an easy way to hold each other accountable too. Like, hey, you said you were doing this. Like, why is that not happening? Like, it doesn't have to be personal. It's just like, why are we off track? Let's fix it. Like, we agreed that these were our goals. This was our vision. This was our plan. We're not doing it. So what happened? Either we need to change it and agree upon that, or we need to get back to what we decided to do. Like, it doesn't give you room to be independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Let's get into gender roles with having kids. What what are the expectations on a man? What would you say is good for a guy to be helpful in or not helpful in once you have kids?
Yeah, I mean, I think my role as helper obviously did not change when we had a kid. My role will always be helper to you. That's in our marriage, what my job is. And so for me, I felt like it was my primary responsibility to take care of our son. Your primary responsibility stayed the same, which was to provide and protect. And so you were going to work. I took a break when I had him. And that's not possible for everyone, or they don't choose to do that, but I did. And I felt like I needed to help you by still maintaining the house and keeping him alive and happy and healthy and everything else. Like, I didn't expect you to wake up in the middle of the night with him. There were sometimes you did when you were gracious or when I was just like at my wit's end.
Especially with things like sleep training. I think the husband can.
Yeah, he didn't respond well to me doing that. So you kind of had to help him like figure it out sometimes. Yeah, so I felt like the best way that I could help you was by managing the home.
Yep.
And not putting a burden on you of like, oh, can you cook tonight? Oh, can you go get groceries? Like, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I really feel like I tried my best to still manage the stuff that I was responsible for and not put more on your plate because nothing on your plate had changed. And now you're sleep deprived. So it's like, it's 10 times harder.
I think both spouses still need to figure out how to first serve each other and then serve the kid. But out of health of a marriage comes a healthy family. And for the husband, for me, it was like, how can I serve and help you? How can I cultivate you still? How can I make sure that you're a healthy woman, a healthy Christian, a healthy mom? But I think I get really sick of hearing young guys when they have kids, they want to become the mom too. And they want to experience everything the mom experiences. And they want to.
Yeah, you didn't have like a front pack for him. Like,
no, I mean, like, look at the day he was born.
Yeah.
What he was born into in our life.
Yeah.
And what.
Yeah.
Maybe explain that story just briefly.
Oh, yeah.
And what was my role?
Yeah. So when we had him, we were living in the casita of our big property, renting out the house in the front. And there were some people that we had accepted their application and moved in.
Days before.
Into our not that long. Like, it was like less than a week that they were there. But they were essentially scamming us and very dangerous people.
Lifetime con artists, but it looks like grandma.
Like 84-page background check.
But they look like grandma and grandpa from Church Paula, literally.
But they like forged everything, obviously. And then we discovered after the fact, based on a lot of things that we found out.
Their check reverse, their $15,000 check reverse while right after Indy was born. Like minutes, hours from Indy's birth.
Yeah. And so we had to move off the property because we didn't know like what they were capable of, how they were going to respond when we evicted them. And so we had to move into an Airbnb and move all of our stuff and our dog and all our baby things. And like literally Indy's like 3 or 4 days old at this point. And I'm like already emotionally, hormonally a disaster. And yeah, you led us through that and made the decisions and brought us through. I was not in it.
I had police involved, I had attorneys involved.
I have an investigator.
Investigators. I was dealing with everything.
Yeah. That's
as my role as protector, defender, leader of our house.
I was keeping the baby safe.
And a lot of guys, it's like, oh, I want to experience this with my child. I want to read there. I don't think I got robbed of anything. I don't think I lived into my role as husband. And I get to have fun with my son. I get to be there and I get to have those moments. But men, when we have kids, it doesn't change our roles and responsibilities. Yeah. We have to make sure our life, our house, our castle is protected, defended, and that the things that God has put in our life, we're still stewarding. Having kids.
And that's why God made men stronger than women. Like, you still have to provide and protect no matter what the situation is.
No matter what.
Yeah.
There's no paternity leave of rules and responsibilities in marriage. Like it.
Yeah. You were my doula, so that was helpful.
Yeah, you fired your doula because she didn't show up, and there was just a birthing assistant or whatever, and I had to do the thing.
Great.
It was a good time. But yeah, I think that's probably the word I would leave men with. There's no paternity leave to our responsibilities as men in marriage. It doesn't matter if you have a kid. It doesn't matter what comes up. We still have our roles and responsibilities as provider, protector, defender of our family. And we have to keep our wife and our children safe, and that doesn't always mean quality time and presence. Men are called to be warriors, and sometimes that means that we are robbed of things that we feel like we should have. And we've lived into that a number of times, and that's the role as men, as my role. So
Hot take.
it's a hot take. No paternity leave for your responsibilities. But let's see how much more time we have. Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. As usual, Ashley, we would like to hear one of your hot takes.
Oh boy. Today's hot take will be that veganism kills.
Oh, yeah, you were a vegan.
I was a vegan for like 4 or 5 years, plus gluten-free, plus I didn't eat beans. I was like barely eating anything. And I nearly died about 6 times.
And meat has healed you.
And I became carnivore, and I'm all better.
You like resolved all of your allergies too.
All my issues.
You eat eggs now, which you were really allergic
I was
to.
allergic to like everything, and I'm not allergic to anything anymore. So
It's pretty impressive.
2.5 years of only eating beef.
It's a good
Solves
sign.
all your problems.
And we're not telling anyone to be as extreme as we are.
No,
It's a lot.
Pretty intense.
It's a lot. We have to live with each other. It's a lot of extremeness. But
Our poor son.
the good news is our son is equally extreme as us.
He's very intense.
He's very dense. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Build to Last podcast. And if you have any feedback, drop it in the comments below. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Help us get this podcast out to more people. And hope it was helpful. We'll see you guys soon.